Hey listeners, Tommy Stryker here, and I'm here to inform you quickly before the show starts that next week we're going to start recording the show on Wednesday, meaning that if you normally listen on Wednesday, you're going to have to move to Thursday. That's right, the show will now be available starting on Thursday. So if you listen on the weekends or any other day of the week, that doesn't really matter, but if you usually download on Wednesday, then you'll just have to start looking for us on Thursday. We're still going to talk about all the same stuff, but we'll be able to talk about NXT and Lucha Underground in a slightly more timely fashion. So start looking for that next week and enjoy this week's show.
Welcome to the best pro wrestling podcast. Listen up, wrestling fans. Woo! Dale Murphy, right? A local hero out of Georgia. He's a big deal, but he's not the champ. You understand that? Herschel Walker, for all you black folks out there, he's a real big dude. But he's not the champ. Ric Flair's the champ. Woo! I'm the world heavyweight wrestling champion. Woo!
This is the best pro wrestling podcast, and yes, right off the bat, before I do anything else, first I want to welcome Taco and Joe to the show.
Woo!
But right away,
that was not planned out.
That was nice. It was very good. We got to send thoughts, prayers, well wishes, whatever you want to, whatever gimmick you go with. We're gonna send that to Ric Flair and his family. Hopefully, he gets better very soon, and a speedy recovery to Flair, and well wishes to his family and everybody involved in that. So we want to get that out of the way right away. Just when you thought, okay, finally the G1 Climax is over, you can take a breath, you get hit with Raw, you get hit with SmackDown, you're getting hit with SummerSlam on Sunday, you're getting hit with NXT Takeover on Saturday, you got a Ring of Honor pay-per-view also on Saturday.
Ooh, you getting that?
Here's the thing: is it's only $20, so it's a good value.
I'll half-seize that bitch with you.
It's on Fight TV. It's on the Fight TV app. We can go halvesies on it. Have a Saturday night thing. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We got Takeover that night too. So
as long as a Saturday night thing's not no fuck train.
You don't have to worry about that. I don't think anyway. But you never know.
That wasn't part of the show. That was pre-show.
Maybe I should just hit the Ric Flair every time Taco swears today.
Ooh, drops the F-bomb. Just get a woo.
We'll see. I don't know if my finger could be that fast. There's another joke in there somewhere too, I guess. I don't know if we want to go there.
That is so profane, Dana. And rude.
Usually I get that sound.
I know. It's weird that I would do it to myself when I'm talking about my fast finger, but I don't know where we're going with this. We got to talk. Let's slide. So we got to talk SummerSlam predictions. Of course, we're going to do some predictions and talk about NXT Takeover. We got to talk the G1 finals, the final 3 nights. We previewed them last week. Talked about the G1 up to that point. Something I think I want to do next week, Taco, is maybe do a top 5 or top 10 matches of the G1. I probably could do it now if I look through all my stuff, but let's plan ahead for it and give us some time to think about it, and we'll both have some time to kind of go over it and put together a top. I think a top 10 would be nice, because like if we do top 5, like you do the A and B block finals and the finals, well that's 3 right there, right. And so I think there's room for some more nuance there. And
see, I'm going to avoid the obvious ones.
Sure, yeah. Look for things that people should go out of their way to see, but are not necessarily obvious ones on that beaten path.
I'm saying, like, Omega, Okada, and the finals,
Right.
I'm going to try to dig some oddballs out of the G1s that really stuck out to me, so, yeah.
Right on. So I like it. We'll table that for this week. We're still going to talk we'll talk about the finals for the A, B block, and of course the big G1 final show. And I've got some notes on some possible future matchups that we could see between now and the end of the year. Of course, Wrestle Kingdom, the big show on January 4th, the big WrestleMania for New Japan. But I've got some notes on that. We'll talk about that. But let's get right into Monday Night Raw and start previewing and predicting the stuff for SummerSlam.
Change the subject. Monday Night Raw.
Oh, it feels so good to be drumming with you live again, too.
It just wasn't the same.
You know what? I think I'm gonna find after the show. I'm gonna get my phone out. We're gonna do the Twitter thing, like a live Twitter thing of you guys doing that with the soundbite and everything. Because I've got the setup to do it now to like feed the sound into the phone and do it all proper. Like, so we're gonna look. If you're listening to the show, it'll be on Twitter if I remember to do it. So, because I think I've been talking about doing that for like 6 months now. But anyway, yeah, look for Taco and Joe air drumming. As exciting as that is.
Oh, it's exciting. It's G1 Climax exciting.
Very, very exciting indeed. Let's go right to the main event from Monday Night Raw. Raw overall, a pretty damn good show this week.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, start to finish.
I've got some nitpicky things here and there, but again, we try to keep it positive on this show for the most part. So, but yeah, Raw was an enjoyable watch this week. So we had the main event, the face to face between all four competitors in the main event for SummerSlam for the Universal title: Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Roman Reigns. How about that Paul Heyman promo?
Oh, he's always on fucking fire.
Yeah, very good stuff there. And him, again, just talking about the idea that Kurt Angle and there's this conspiracy to get the title off of Brock Lesnar, and teasing the idea that, once again, Brock's going to leave if he loses, but then, reinforcing the idea that Brock has no intentions of losing, and Paul Heyman has full confidence in Brock Lesnar winning. At least that's the idea that I kind of...
It's brilliant, because, sports articles out there even talking about, like, oh, Lesnar's only saying this to use it as leverage and his WWE contract. So it's like, fuck, they're getting these people talking,
right.
It's brilliant.
And it's kind of classic pro wrestling if you think about it, getting worked or whatever. Because we talked about the Lesnar situation last week, how he, even once he enters the drug testing pool and all of that takes place, in his current WWE contract and the WrestleMania season coming into play, he's not going to be able to fight till damn near a year from now anyway, especially, the time, the clock ticking on the drug testing pool thing not starting until he re-enters, dives back into that water. So that, of course, but I like, it's kind of cool. Like you said, getting the mainstream attention.
Exactly. It's just cool to see that out there. It's just like, they're just doing it right.
Well, and seeing the WWE connection with ESPN and SportsCenter and all that, like, even just on my app, like, honestly, I
fucking Sports
just up in the last couple weeks, I've seen top, rated, articles on WWE and interviews with these wrestlers, and just it's fun that they're actually being incorporated into, sports. It's a sports entertainment, but like they're actually being seen that way.
Michael Cole had a line on Monday Night Raw where I don't even remember who it was now, but somebody did some move, and he's like, oh, it's one of the greatest things in sports entertainment. And I just wanted him to stop at sports. Because, just stop there. You don't have to say the rest of it. It's one of the greatest spectacles in sports, just whatever that move was or whatever the thing that was going on at the time, because it's the pet peeve thing. They have to do the corporate speak and the garbage.
Sit,
and
Ubu, sit.
Pet peeve. So anyway, the Samoa Joe promo was good.
It was structured really well.
Him coming out and saying, just saying that I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of anybody. Braun Strowman coming out and Samoa Joe kind of getting in his face, like, look, you're not the last man standing. You took me taking out Roman Reigns, and then they try to protect Reigns from the boos, even though they're in Boston or whatever. He comes out, everybody boos the hell out of him. He doesn't have a microphone. He's not going to talk. He's just going to get right to business.
Perfect.
So that happened, and we had the big pull apart. Joe, you liked the mental, not the mental, but the actual visual of the pull apart.
The security guards, like, it's just literally there was just those two in the ring, the big stare down, and then 15 dudes swarm into the ring before they could even get near each other.
It was a bit strange because it had all the security out there. Roman comes out, starts running amok. Samoa Joe, and they're taking each other out at ringside. The security guards don't do anything until it's like Strowman and Lesnar face to face. So, but I agree that it was kind of a cool image, and that
it's always cool, but it's just, how many times do we gotta do this with Lesnar and the pull aparts? It's a little bit too much with them, and it's just. I don't know, I felt this was the weakest thing on Raw, personally.
It was getting, I thought that too. Like, it was cool, but it's getting repetitive. So
it's just, especially with Lesnar, it's just like, what are your security guards going to fucking do? Have everyone out already. Like, but, fuck it.
So SummerSlam is on Sunday. Predictions. What do you say there, Joe?
Honestly, I think Lesnar's taking a break myself. I don't think he rolls all the way from SummerSlam to WrestleMania without a break. I think Samoa Joe takes the title.
Taco?
What kind of break does fucking Lesnar need? He's always on break.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it's going to happen.
See, I'm with you on him losing the title this weekend, only because he's been making like a lot of random like house show appearances and stuff like that. They're like bigger venues to say, but yeah, dude, I really want Joe to win this too.
In my heart, yeah, in my heart, I want Joe to win. I think Lesnar keeps it. I think he just stays with it, and probably keeps it most of the fall. But it just the 4-way. It's such a clunky format, and they've been beating it over our heads with Lesnar doesn't have to be pinned to lose the title. He doesn't have to be involved in the finish to lose the title. So with just the amount of that bashing our brains in with that, just leads me to believe that that's not the direction that they're actually going to go.
It also feels like they're trying to make us drop our guard and have Reigns walk out with it.
Yeah, you never know, but yeah, I'm predicting Lesnar keeps it by hook or by crook, but I think Lesnar really is. I mean, babyface and heel is kind of a weird term to use with these four right now because they are so over.
This is just a fucking fight,
right? But for the most part, a big part of the crowd is on, is behind Lesnar, are fans of Lesnar, I should say. So
especially having the stipulation of him leaving, though, it's just like, how are you really going to work your way around that?
I mean, certainly they could do what Joe was saying, where he's just gone for a few months and then comes back. I could see him coming back in October or November, and it's this huge surprise because, we were kind of talking about it last week. And you just brought it up now. He's on house shows. He's been making more appearances lately.
And I know in his contract he usually does have certain appearances, and then anything extra he gets paid more, essentially.
Exactly. So being that they have used a lot of his appearances for the year already, maybe he goes away for a couple of months.
Even the Rumble would be a good surprise.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't think they keep him away all the way till then, but that would leave them left with a lot of appearances between Rumble and WrestleMania, though.
Right.
But that's certainly a possibility. But like I said, I think Lesnar is going to keep it. Let's talk the Rollins-Ambrose situation. Starting the show out with that, with Ambrose coming out hot, just demanding that Rollins come out and give him an explanation for what happened last week. They teased the fist so much.
Keep talking.
That is so profane, Dana. I wasn't rude.
But they teased it for a long time. They finally gave it to us. They pumped up that crowd a lot.
Fist.
What'd you think of the Shield 2.0 or whatever? That's such a horrible name.
Oh, it's really bad.
But it makes sense because there's two of them now. But oh god, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have even said it.
It's too late. You can't take it back.
You can't take it back. Huh?
I mean, we saw it coming, and it's going to be fun. I think it gives them both something to do. I don't know. Maybe they don't take the titles, but stay together as a team. Maybe they take the titles on Sunday. It's just good to see them working and showing up to every show together, again.
I like it in the sense that if Ambrose wins this weekend, he's going to be one of the few Grand Slam champions if he wins the tag title. So that's really cool.
Did not know that
aspect of it there. But yeah, I'm glad this whole fucking broke back Shield thing is over because some people look at the wrestling thing, oh, it's fucking gay. If they saw that, they'd be like, I'd be like so fucking embarrassed. Like just little.
It was a little bit.
I can't go there, but
and we even talked about it when there was the interview that Renee had with Ambrose, when she was all giddy about, are you guys getting back together? It was just the phrasing of it. It was just
Days of Our Lives.
Yes,
this is Monday Night Raw, and you guys are fucking the Shield. Tear shit up.
Yeah. Be badasses. Let's not hold hands.
But this should be, it should be such a fucking awesome match. As a whole.
Right. So let's get into the predictions of it.
Your prediction.
The Bar versus Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Joe?
Judging by my last comments, I didn't really have a good opinion of what could win, but I mean, I want to see the Bar honestly keep them. and keep this feud going, because it feels like there hasn't been enough matches with these two. They haven't built it up enough. It's just been random beat downs, and stuff like that. So I feel extend this streak out even past SummerSlam. Let's keep it on the bar.
Well, yeah, and the bar just got the titles too. It feels like they haven't had them for very long. So even though I guess maybe it's been a couple of months now. But because it was the Hardys that got him at WrestleMania, then the bar got him back from them. Was it a pay-per-view or two ago? I don't even remember at this point.
A little bit.
It's all a whirlwind at this point. But yeah, I want to see the bar keep the titles. I think they do by hook or by crook or whatever, heel tactics, or maybe they just keep them straight up. But obviously I think they should keep Ambrose and Rollins together for a while. But we did talk about the possibility of an Ambrose heel turn at some point. So, but this is a new story, and so I don't know. What do you think, Taco?
Just because of the record that Ambrose can set in the WWE books, I'm kind of rooting for them for that sense.
Sure,
but I'm keep it on the bar though. They've broke such fucking great ground, and they're doing such great things right now. This is like the best Sheamus we've seen in his career, best Cesaro we've even fucking seen in his career. So it's just keep the titles on them. They're doing so fucking good, and we can have Rollins and Ambrose, as a tag team, but they don't have to necessarily be a tag team all the time. They they made up fucking friends watching each other's backs again. They're the good guys. That's how they roll. So.
I don't even mind them as a tag team, especially with Rollins kind of being out of the main event picture right now. I like the idea that they're building up Finn to get to the main event at some point this fall.
I just kind of wish his shit or Rollins stuff right now wasn't fucking the burn it down, because it's just like that makes me want him to be a heel, like he's gonna fucking double cross Ambrose again.
Honestly.
Rollins
was a way better heel at this point. We've had almost a year, of Rollins kind of being this baby face, and
he's finally finding his ground on it, though. It took some time. I mean, there's so much awesome shit going on right now, and it's like it's kind of like the Bray Wyatt effect. It's just like he can do so much good, but he's not.
Yeah,
they're just kind of floating along, and it's just that injury really fucked up Seth Rollins' momentum, and it happens to anybody.
And then when they brought him back as a heel for like a couple of months, and it took the Finn Balor injury to finally change him to babyface, but because that story was so convoluted.
He went from just dominant chicken shit heel to I'm a struggling heel to no one wants me. So it's just it.
So that's why I like this mid-card tag team thing, because they're rebuilding the trust with Dean Ambrose was a story that they'd never told. So that's, I think, a big part of the Seth Rollins babyface
the build
story.
Up is so bad.
So,
but it's out of the way, and
cheesy.
I'm expecting a surprise match out of these guys this weekend.
Yeah, the match should be phenomenal. So that'll be one to definitely look forward to at SummerSlam. Since you brought up Wyatt, we'll kind of skip to the Wyatt versus Finn Balor. SummerSlam came early because they were fighting in the back. So apparently, all you got to do is have a big brawl in the back, and Kurt Angle says, "Yeah, SummerSlam, let's make it early."
I loved it though, because the whole cool segment he had, and it's just like, sir, there's something going on with Balor and Wyatt in back. Oh fuck, just run away, no explanation.
And Miz being very offended by it, like, I'm in the middle of talking. Miz was great.
It's what we want, fuck yeah, give it to us now. And sorry to go into it, but that's what we're here for. I thought it was such a great segue going into the Demon story for Finn too, because that's kind of what we've been wondering, is like how he's gonna. I was kind of expecting him to come out on Raw.
I know. I liked the match, except for the finish. It felt a little bit out of nowhere and sudden, and a little bit. It was. I thought. My thoughts were hit him with the Sister Abigail, and then instead of pinning him, hit him with like 5 more Sister Abigails, and then pin him, and he's just dead then. And then you can pour the bucket of blood on him or whatever. To me, the bucket of blood was kind of silly, almost. But
it's the catalyst of what brings out the demon.
Sure,
he needs that extra one little step to push him into the fact that he's gonna bring out the demon.
And it was a great visual.
And that's been our biggest complaint with Bray Wyatt is his creepy, the effects, the magic, the spoof. It wasn't. I'm glad they didn't fucking do, dark lights and just dumping some sort of clear liquid on him, but make it look red or something.
Bugs in the ring again.
It's just, you had fucking Michael Cole saying, like, oh, that's some sort of weird acidic liquid. They never once said blood or anything, but I thought it was awesome to see a good old fashion brewed bloodbath. So we haven't seen that shit in forever.
That was my favorite
and
tweet.
It's just
Gangrel approved.
It's what we've been wanting from Wyatt is those visual effects. I love fucking horror movies, so if I could see some real effects, that sticks out more. So I thought it was visually awesome. Fucking just Balor blinded the whole fucking time, like not expecting. He sold it, dude. Like I loved the spot a lot.
And then him coming out of the trainer's room or whatever, or was it Angle's office? I forget. It doesn't matter. But he was kind of cleaned up, but still a little bit bloody. And the interviewer asked him, "What's going on? It's going to be the Demon at SummerSlam." So we have a reason for the Demon, and we haven't seen the Demon in a year.
I thought it was just a really good way to introduce the Demon. To I don't know what fucking Bray Wyatt is right now, to Rob Zombie.
So for SummerSlam, Wyatt versus Finn Balor. It's got to be Finn Balor winning clean, looking good. I
think this could be a really good match, though,
I
just
think so,
in
too.
aggressiveness.
I enjoyed the match on Raw.
Well, and that's what made me think. Like, just imagine again. They're pulling out all the stops for SummerSlam. You got Bray Wyatt chucking his body left and right. That's like probably one of my few favorite moves from him when he just hurls himself at Finn. And that was a nasty collision on Raw. I just want to see what these two do at SummerSlam.
I really liked the match itself on Raw. Don't get me wrong. It was just the finish just felt sudden for me. I mean, I've been watching these G1 Climax matches too. So, I mean, you got to hit a guy with 10 finishers, just to get a win.
Right.
So, to me, I was like, just hit him with the fucking Sister Abigail 100 times and fucking kill him. And then, that brings out the Demon. That would have been a great story, but whatever, they didn't do that. But again, that match I really liked. It felt like a big deal. Finn felt like a star. I want to contrast that and move into the cruiserweight match, because when that match was happening, the middle part of that match, it just felt like another match. It was a cruiserweight championship match. It should have felt like a big deal, and to me, it just didn't. And they did the title change, and that's cool. And it was the finish was great. We'll get into that here in a second, because I know you have a nice story about that, Taco. But I love the finish, but the middle, for the most part of that match, to me, it just kind of felt like a match. And I thought it was a missed opportunity, because, I mean, a big match on Monday Night Raw, gave these guys a big spot, and it just didn't stand out to me.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe it's just me. Maybe everybody else thought it was great.
I think you're just too up on G1 right now.
I think it could be. It could be.
Because, I thought it was a great match. I was not expecting the championship to be on the line. And some people were kind of butthurt.
Right.
I was reading online that, the Cruiserweights got bumped off for SummerSlam. Well, they're not. They are going to have the rematch at SummerSlam, but a lot of people were kind of mad about that. And no, man, SummerSlam's so fucking jam-packed right now. Just going down the fucking line of matches, like, I can't complain. I can't even complain about Corbin and Cena fighting each other.
Well, I guess the question for me is, did the title change on Raw make you more interested in 205 Live and all of the stuff going on, especially the rematch here at SummerSlam?
What I'm kind of getting
Go
to,
ahead.
though, is it's going to be hard for them to stick out on this kind of point. So, God, now I'm fucking lost. God damn it, Tommy. It stuck out more with him winning on Raw to me than it would have on SummerSlam.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's going to be so much awesomeness, so much chaos. The match is going to be fucking great. It just Tozawa winning the championship at SummerSlam would just kind of, that's cool. Let's move on.
Sure, it would kind of get lost in the shuffle.
It left for a fucking awesome moment on Raw. It's one of the best moments on Raw.
Titus throwing him up on his shoulders.
You said it didn't stick out to me, which my girlfriend, she kind of fucking sees it in the background, so she's been kind of naming some of the shit going on lately, but her friend was over and just so happened to be during this match, and they were just kind of sucked into it, well, it was mostly Neville's ears, but they're definitely checking out the matches, and Tozawa's getting his double dive in, is fucking going nuts on him, and I thought Tozawa looked great on it. Like, he was not letting Neville get any offense in, especially with the shoulder and
Sure.
fucking the story they've been telling on this situation has been great. And at the end,
that finish,
the finish with Neville going up to the top and him whipping out the wet arrow. Both of the ladies were all like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fucking nuts."
And then he misses.
I kind of was like, and he missed it. I was like, yeah, and he only does that shit when he's the good guy. So like, because that's a fucking awesome move. Look at your reaction,
Right.
As Tozawa's climbing the turnbuckle. I'm like, but you wait, watch this fucking dude's move. This move is gonna fucking be crazy. And he just jumps really high and drops his senton, which was a phenomenal senton. But they were
Landed
just
with
laughing like, what the fuck?
Yeah, landed full weight on Neville with that senton. One of those great moments that they can actually do the slow motion full replay on. So that looked great. So,
but I know this. It really stuck out. This has been one of the best feuds in 205. And, this is the best. We're not going to get an overnight success. Look how long NXT fucking took really to get off the ground. Give it time, and we're going to see more and more matches like this. And they had a good amount of fucking time to put on a show, and I thought they did.
Okay. Well, what do you think is going to happen Sunday? Is Neville going to regain the title, or does Tozawa keep it? What do you think there, Joe?
I honestly think I want to see Tozawa keep it because I think it would be a good SummerSlam moment. You're spreading to the different countries. You got the Titus Worldwide going on, but I see them just putting it back on Neville, the king of the cruiserweights, and starting it all over again.
What do you think, Taco?
I'm leaning towards Tozawa on this one. Something different. I mean, it also puts so much into Titus Worldwide. It fucking solidified him as the leader of this too. He's made 205 stick out more, and it's been a great relationship. So fuck yeah, man, keep it on.
Well, we got the celebration going on 205 right now.
Nice.
I'm legitimately going to go and watch this tonight, probably, just because Neville looks like I'm sure it's makeup and everything like that, but his hair is wrangled and he looks like he hasn't slept in 24 hours. So they're really playing up to like he's fucking like losing his mind.
He's been tweeting all day too, like, no, why? Just one-liners like that, like, awesome.
Yeah, I'm predicting Tozawa keeps the title, so I let's keep the title on him for a while. They did a nice long title reign with Neville.
It's been the best.
Yep, and he's elevated that title, and so let's see how Tozawa does with it, and see if that gets any more eyeballs on 205 Live. How about Elias's new T-shirt there, Taco?
Awesome.
World Tour.
Yeah, had the little thing with R-Truth on Monday.
I walk with Elias.
Nice. Big Cass, I kind of liked his promo on Monday.
His best one, I thought.
Just talking some shit, talking a little shoot on Enzo with his bad backstage reputation. I guess he's getting on everybody's nerves backstage, bothering everybody, being a pain in the ass. So what do you think for this deal? So they did the thing where they broke Big Show's hand. Enzo tried to give him the out, say, no, you don't have to do the match, but Big Show's in. He's going to do the match with the broken hand. So it's going to be with Enzo in the shark cage. I don't know. What do you guys think for this one on Sunday?
Big Show's still going to knock him out with a cast on. That's pretty much what's going to happen.
It's a good story.
God, I don't like. This is like, unfortunately, the only match pre-show right there. It's
probably
it's rough, man. Like,
I don't know.
like I feel like we could get pretty solid. We could get a good performance out of these two, and for what it is, it feels so out of place on SummerSlam to me.
Yeah.
Well, they got to get that money for that shark cage, man.
They do. They got some toy rings to sell.
Back pay.
Just used that thing too.
I feel like we're gonna see. I kind of like the kind of secret story that was told on Raw was the club. Gallows and Anderson,
right? Yeah,
being
they got
the Good Brothers Syndicate now, like almost like an APA service.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting.
That's kind of interesting because when they came out and helped take out Big Show with Cass, once his music hit, they dipped and Cass stayed in the ring and did his thing. So they're always tweeting like just money and fame and shit like that. So it's like I really wouldn't mind them just being an APA type of unit. Like, hey, we're gonna take someone out.
I like Cass being part of the Good Brothers.
I can definitely see them doing that kind of some fuckery going on at SummerSlam.
That's probably the way they're going. I'm gonna overbook the shit out of this, and it's kind of what I talked about last week. I think Enzo decides to help Big Cass, drops the gimmick out of the cage to Cass on purpose. Cass beats the Big Show, and Cass and Enzo are reunited now as
Wait,
heels.
does Cass beat Big Show with Enzo?
No, he drops some sort of gimmick out of the brass knuckles or a gold chain or something.
like a doo-doo,
Out of
like
the
a rubber poop.
Out of the shark cage, yes. Something like that, definitely.
That is so profane, Dana. And rude.
So, yeah, that's my overbooked prediction. Probably not going to happen, but I don't really care.
I'd like to see him as a heel tag team again.
Yeah, I think, and that's how they started too. And so it's a fresh thing for everybody. Now Enzo is a heel; he can completely change the routine up when they come out, so that he can do something completely new. Now Cass is and he's just the mouthpiece for Big Cass, who's not horrible himself on the microphone. But I did like so the crowd kept booing him every time he tried to start his lines or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he kept saying the same thing over and over again, so it was like obvious he had a scripted lines to say. It would have been nice of him to be a little smarter and switch it up a little bit.
He's getting there, though.
But and so it was nice that Enzo kind of coming out and saying, "You keep saying the same thing over and over again. What are you, broken?" So, so I did kind of like that. But yeah, again, if Enzo is back with Cass but as heels, you change up the whole routine, the entrance, everything, and it's a fresh start for both.
I would be kind of pissed if they did that.
Well, yeah, it's horrible. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. It's horrible because you did that whole breakup thing over how many ever weeks, and so yeah, for them to get right back together as heels is dumb.
You split them up. Now's the sink or swim time for both these guys.
Pretty much. All right, what else from Monday Night Raw? Well, Emma took on Mickie James, and fucking Mickie James won with the Mick kick. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I mean,
Emma's getting TV time. Her thing's bitching about how she hasn't had an opportunity. I'm liking it though. Like,
I don't know.
The interaction with her and Mickie James in the back. She's like, "What kind of fucking come face a 6-time champion?" Then and she was kind of like, "Oh shit,"
She should have won.
Yeah, she should have.
It's
Give
almost
Emma a chance.
Like Christian though when he was like, "One more match," but it's I never get a shot instead. So I don't know. She's got something.
So what are we doing here with... Okay, so The Miz versus Jason Jordan got DQ'd when the Miz Taraj attacked Jason Jordan after he pretty much dominated the Miz. This all happened because the Miz interrupted the Hardys earlier in the night. Then the Hardys come out and help Jason Jordan. Holla, it becomes the tag team match.
I'm going to make this a tag team match. Holla.
So we had the tag team match. Jordan and the Hardys get the win. Nice finishing sequence. And what was up with Bo Dallas's new tights? It looks like he had the New Japan logo on his on the side. That was so strange.
He's a strange fella.
So where are we going here? Is this leading to an intercontinental match between Jason Jordan and The Miz, and Jordan teaming up with the Hardys? Was just TV filler? What are we doing here?
Honestly, just TV filler in my mind. I mean, they just needed something else to fill out the show, and they wanted it to be with, some big stars. They were on a roll throughout the show, like we were talking about, so keep it going high.
Taka, what do you think? What's next for the IC champ?
I think it's just going to be kind of backburnered again at SummerSlam like it was at WrestleMania. I mean, you got the fucking Hardys you got to do something with. You don't want to keep them off SummerSlam, so it's just kind of logical to make it, 3-on-3 fucking
Well, I don't think they're doing anything with... I mean, I got a full line. I got 12 matches for SummerSlam, and the Hardys aren't on there. Miz isn't on there, so I don't think we're getting any
Miz
of those
is going to
guys.
throw a fucking fit.
So...
a Miz fit?
Only other thing we didn't mention yet, Nia Jax versus Sasha. Go ahead.
Very happy that there was a couple commercial breaks during this match.
Well, here's the thing: is I was not completely sour on this match.
No. There was a lot of commercial breaks, though. There was a good, couple minutes there where we didn't get no match.
Well, that was the thing is I was not looking forward to this at all. But I ended up really liking it. I thought Sasha looked good. She looked like she was fighting from underneath, and when she made her comeback, I thought it was believable.
Yep.
Fucking hitting the bank statement, but Nia escaping a couple of times. But then
Nia with that fucking slam too on Sasha on the outside.
The
That
swing
was
into
rough,
the swing into the barricade, I thought looked a little dangerous. Nia not known for her safety in the ring, so that worried me. But yeah, it looked fucking great. So whether that was something that Sasha signed up for or not, I don't know. But it looked brutal. And I liked the match, and I'm very much looking forward to Sasha versus Alexa Bliss. I thought the first match a couple of months ago was really good, with Bliss taking the count out loss on purpose. So this will be the rematch for that. So
I actually liked
really
her coming out on the fucking giant lifeguard chair, and she didn't say anything. She just was her sitting there, and it spoke to me.
The idea that the announcers put out there that was her throne. I was like, they wanted to get her a throne, but they kind of threw together a lifeguard chair and painted it silver. I feel like this was like a last minute idea. And next time she's going to actually have like a really nice throne or something. Like they didn't have enough time to get back to the warehouse.
I hope she comes out with like fucking like naked dudes carrying her on those like chairs that they have to walk around.
Naked dudes?
That is so profane.
I'm talking
Dana.
like fucking like 300 Persians.
Like the
fucking
boys.
Covered in gold, like the boys, yeah.
I know what you're
just
saying.
with their dicks out.
So for SummerSlam, what do you think? Taco, you first this time. Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks for the women's title.
I want to keep it on Alexa. I'm liking what she's doing, and I hope she has a good streak with it.
Joe, what do you think?
Agreed. Keep it on Alexa. She's just on a roll right now. This is already a thrown together thing because it was going to be Bailey at that point. So leave it on what's working.
In my heart, I really like the Sasha Banks story, and she's been putting on really good matches. I mean, the match with Alexa, the match from Monday with Nia Jax. She got a good match out of Nia Jax, I thought.
She did.
All that being said, I think you guys are right. I think Alexa keeps it, but I think Nia Jax is going to get involved here finally.
I'm wanting to. I want to see Nia and Alexa. I've been talking for a couple weeks now about how they've been killing it on the social media game.
Yeah.
And, like how we want Cass and Enzo in a heelish sense is what these two ladies need to be. I like to compare it to like Calvin and Hobbes, but like bad guy wrestlers instead. So I would love to see it between these two.
Let's keep doing the predictions for SummerSlam, but let's shift gears into SmackDown.
Let's speed through SmackDown. Because they certainly did.
SmackDown Live.
Yeah, a lot of talking on SmackDown this week.
I'm going to make this
It's like an episode of Talking Smack.
Yeah, maybe they were making up for the fact that there is no more Talking Smack, and they did a lot of talking on SmackDown this week. Highlights from SmackDown: the Usos and Daniel Bryan. the the Usos are in the manager's office. They're saying, "All right, who do we face at SummerSlam?" And it's gonna be Woods and Big E. Like, okay, well, we want Kofi and Woods tonight. But Daniel's they're like, hey, we want to ask you something. Daniel's like, what? Can I be in your rap group? It's like I got beats.
I've been working on my rhymes.
My beats and my hooks, yeah. And like one of them's like, yeah, and the other one's like, no. And then Daniel Bryan gives them the match. They asked for the match on SmackDown, and Daniel Bryan's like, yeah, I can hook that up.
I think Daniel Bryan's rap name is Sweet Beats.
That's right. And then they go for the fist bump in the end, and Daniel does like the most dad thing ever. Just like grabs the fists and shakes them.
Explosion.
Yep. He goes for the explosion.
So yeah, that was great. The Fashion Files, the Fashion Peaks finale was very interesting. Fandango throws a rock from space, aka a space rock, and he says that when he throws the rock from space, it will reveal answers. He ends up hitting one of the Ascension who are coming in to return the pie. The pie is mangled. It's a mess.
Terrible.
There's all kinds of awful things in the pie. There's hair in the pie. There's a Band-Aid in the pie.
Do you get it? Hair pie?
He finds a piece of gluten in the pie, and the Ascension go apeshit because they live a gluten-free lifestyle. But then they find a note that says, 2B. they spell out 2 TWO and then the letter B. So I don't know what that means, but then it says Breezango will return after the finale or whatever. The graphic comes on, and the Breezango will return in 25 years. And then it corrects itself and says 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So Breezango's back in a couple of weeks. What is this? Does this make any sense? What is going on?
Well, if they're basing it off of Twin Peaks, it should never make sense.
Right.
I think that was one of Even the Lions. No wonder the show got canceled after 2 seasons. Honestly, I think they're leading into the debut of a tag team, whether it be Sanity or AOP.
That's a possibility.
I think it's a really bad idea, just for the fact that even though they're not wrestling in the ring, Breezango are way over with people right now just because of these skits, and then to just destroy them with a new coming tag team, I think it would be a bad idea.
What if you keep pushing them and give them a championship run, for crying out loud? They're popular. They've gotten over. Give them a push. Give them something to do.
They actually said, it might have been on Talk is Jericho, that Cena and Bella are the reasons why they're still going with this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they thought it was so funny, so they kept pushing for them to keep going at it, and then because they thought the shit they did with them with Tyler Breeze dressing up as Nikki and whatnot was so funny that, to push it and everything. That's how they came across the facing the Usos and whatnot. And I guess they were trying to do like a giant fucking awesome match that they planned with the Usos going on, and then like an hour before the show, Vince McMahon was like, "Oh, we're going this way, make it funny." So they made it funny, and yeah, it was great. It was great.
Sure. All right. Cena versus Jinder Mahal out of nowhere in the main event for SmackDown this week.
Not really. Advertised it all day. Way to check social.
I didn't see it. Joe didn't see it. They didn't talk about it on Raw, and for understandable reasons. They did a good job hyping up the first Shinsuke Nakamura John Cena match, and they actually gave us a full match. So they didn't want to do a big build up for this because the finish was so screwy with the Baron Corbin thing and everything else. So I kind of saw that coming as soon as this is a big match kind of out of nowhere. Oh, of course, Baron Corbin's probably going to get involved. Exactly what happened. John Cena hits an AA. Jinder kicks out of it, then goes for the big AA off the second rope, hits it, but then here comes Baron Corbin, gets the disqualification. Then it takes Baron Corbin a few minutes to figure out, hey, this might be a really good place to cash in. I like it. Okay, it's okay for him to look stupid. He's a heel. But they really milked the idea that, he got halfway back up the ramp and like, oh yeah, I should probably cash this Money in the Bank in. Great moment for SmackDown. Goes to cash in the briefcase, gets distracted by John Cena.
Goes to attack John Cena.
Right. Goes to attack John Cena. Jinder Mahal hits him with the most devastating move in professional wrestling. The schoolboy, the roll up, the 1, 2, 3. Corbin no longer has the briefcase. And
shoulders down, no tights grabbed, no fuckery involved.
Exactly. And it was fun though, because as soon as he started the idea of cashing in, it's like, oh, this is intriguing. It could be Corbin versus Cena for the title at SmackDown suddenly, and then it's Jinder versus Shinsuke for nothing. but still, it was kind of intriguing there for a minute. But nevertheless, Corbin's no more briefcase, so that means John Cena's just going to beat the shit out of him at SummerSlam, I suppose. But yeah, what are your predictions for that one for John Cena and Baron Corbin?
I mean, Baron Corbin needs the win. John's just jumping back and forth. And I've pretty much been assuming that he's going to make a jump to Raw, whether it be taking a small break for whatever crap he's got to get done in Hollywood and then coming back to Raw. But I think sooner or later he just ends up showing up on Raw.
Right on.
I'm actually kind of bummed that Corbin didn't win tonight because it was just so like.
Would have been a good moment.
It would have been a good moment, but it was just the whole him leaving and then being like, "Oh yeah,"
Jinder's reaction though after winning was pretty great.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, his was great. It's just dude gets a fucking AA off the top turnbuckle. Fucking you interfere and then you walk away, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute. He had some time to recuperate. Let me go back in here.
Yeah, Ed Kyoto's like the best referee at not knowing what the fuck is going on, too. Like, he slides in, gives him the briefcase, and the ref's like, huh? What's this? What are you doing? And then I'm cashing it in. Oh, you're going to cash it in. Then he's got to go outside the ring and let the ring announcer know. And everybody else, like, okay, this is the Money in the Bank briefcase. He's going to cash it in. We're going to have another match. We're going to waste another minute here. And then
him just like,
so
with
cliche.
Jinder in the corner trying to get to his feet, and like the ref, like, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? He's not ready. He's not ready. Are you ready? Like, it's
And
like,
then other
Corbin,
times they're
you're,
like, go.
such a piece of shit bad guy. I'm not saying like you're a piece of shit, but it's just like, you don't give a fuck about anyone. You didn't team up with the SmackDown team at Survivor Series because you're out for yourself. So why would you listen to the ref right now? Go attack, sick him. Do you want to be a fucking champion?
Well, it's not
no.
It's not official till the referee rings the bell. We know that much.
And they'll ring the bell once they get moving.
Here's the thing: is I do like what WWE has kind of done since the Attitude Era. There was a time where New Japan does this now. As soon as you can attack somebody making their ring entrance, and all of a sudden the bell rings and the match is underway. WWE has gotten away from that. They will now, Michael Cole says it all the time. This match hasn't even started yet, and so I kind of like the real sports aspect of it. If someone gets attacked before the match, they're not just going to ring the bell in a real fight. They're not just going to ring the bell, sound the horn, and this thing's underway. They're going to separate everybody, make sure everything's okay, and wait till everybody's ready.
A match at any time.
I know, exactly.
Anywhere. Any place.
I agree. I agree with that aspect. But we have seen it in the past too, where a guy will go to cash in the Money in the Bank, and something will happen, and the bell doesn't ring yet, and so that was not an official cash in, and the guy gets the briefcase back. So I kind of liked playing all of that kind of into what's going to happen here. The ref hasn't rung the bell yet. What the fuck is going on?
Right.
Why is he? What's happening? So I kind of liked that.
I'm
bit
glad
of it.
they eliminated that aspect in the Shinsuke and Jinder match, though, because everyone's been fucking saying, "Oh, he's gonna cash in on Shinsuke." Not gonna happen no more.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Cena, we talked Cena, Corbin. So let's Jinder and Nakamura. Let's get right into that. We had the promo at the beginning from SmackDown wasn't anything special. Of course, Jinder celebrating the Indian Independence Day, bringing out the dancers and everything again. Definitely a bunch of this going on there. But what do you think as far as SummerSlam for the WWE Championship? That was the wrong button.
I mean, if we're going to go that way, I'm going to bring it up. If you want to check it out, find out in the classics, Public Enemy versus the Nasty Boys in WCW fucking street fight, they've got cameras on both of them. All right, continue.
All right, that was good.
Wait, they had GoPros before GoPros?
Yeah,
time
they were
travelers.
just this big.
Jinder,
see this.
Jinder Mahal Nakamura for the WWE Championship. What do you think there, Taco?
We all know where our hearts are.
Yeah.
I feel like Jinder's gonna weasel his way out of this. I think Corbin's gonna have too much of a temper tantrum, or I don't know, some sort of fuckery's involved. And just with how SmackDown's been rolling the last couple of weeks, I don't think we're gonna get the match out of them we want.
Joe, what do you think?
I kind of agree with that, and in the sense, I think they have a Indian tour after SummerSlam at some point, so it just makes me believe that you got to keep it on Jinder.
See,
what better way of him winning the championship back in India, though?
I've heard that there's an Indian tour, but haven't seen evidence. I've heard that there's a Japanese tour coming up, but they just went to Japan. But
See, I haven't seen any of this shit.
That's the thing. I don't know. I'm tired of this Jinder. This Jinder title run. What it does is it makes SmackDown the number 2 brand. It pounds it into your head. It's like when JBL was the champion of SmackDown back in the day. If you just watch Raw, if you're casual as fuck and just watch some Raw, and you hear that JBL's the champion or Jinder fucking Mahal's the champion on SmackDown, you're like,
hold on,
I could skip SmackDown.
JBL is a wrestling god. He's God.
What I said was, stop talking.
I don't know. It's probably not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you guys are right, but I am predicting Shinsuke Nakamura gets the title, and everybody goes crazy.
God, that'd be awesome.
And everybody tuned, and suddenly life is new life breathed into SmackDown.
They really need it
because SmackDown has been a lot of Titus.
I was super fucking excited for SmackDown too, because Raw was like, fucking straight off the bat to the end of the show, I was hooked every fucking second of it.
I just feel like that button's insulting now. I really feel like we can't be doing that to Titus anymore.
Titus has been slightly more interesting, but it's a staple on the show. I don't have anything else I could do. I could do Titus backwards, I suppose. But that signifies rewinding, I think, since the other one's fast forward. But we could change the whole script. I don't know. If you got a suggestion, bestprowrestlingpodcast@gmail.com, @BPW Podcast on Twitter. Back to the predictions. Usos versus New Day. We got the preview match on SmackDown with the Usos getting the win. I said it when we were watching SmackDown. This is about as fresh as a matchup as John Cena and Randy Orton. But these guys do put on really good matches, so I'm looking forward to the match. The one from SmackDown today just kind of felt there. But I don't know.
And it should, especially if they're going to face each other in a week.
Right.
I mean,
why
not bad, but not great.
It's just it's so overexposed. But I think it'll be. I hope it's a good match.
I like the fact that they're going the Big E and Xavier Woods route too for New Day, and not. I mean, it sucks for Kofi, but you know.
I've really enjoyed seeing more Xavier Woods in the ring lately.
Yeah. I'm glad they're kind of going with the younger bucks out of the group to throw them in there.
So who do you think wins on Sunday? Do the New Day keep the titles, or?
I'd like to see the Usos take it back. I mean, New Day would have their rematch, and we're trying to breathe new life into the tag team division. I think, like I said, with the Breezango thing, I think they're going to introduce a new tag team.
Possible.
I just see New Day just walking out. Or did I just? I fucking know.
First you said the Usos.
I meant to say the Usos the second time too, but
Okay.
New Day came out.
So
but yeah, I think Usos are taking
Usos official is what you're saying.
Uso official. Lock it in.
Taco, what do you say?
I'm think the Hardys are going to win. Wait, what? No, I'm with Joe on this one.
Shut up!
I'm going with the Usos.
I want to see the Usos get it back too. I like them better as a team right now. The New Day are really starting to feel like reruns at this point.
Well, the
been
Usos
saying
made
that
good
forever.
champs. They just made really solid champs. They put on good matches, and they can tear people apart with a promo.
Natalia versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Natalia beat Becky Lynch clean on SmackDown this week. I'm not a fan of that, but you got to build up Natalia for the title. What do you think of this one, Joe?
I want Natty to get a run. I really think she deserves a women's title or a women's title championship run with her pedigree, the fact of what she's been through.
I don't, just because I don't want to hear the goddamn "you deserve it" chants again. But anyway,
I'll give you that.
Chant that for anything. As far as Tozawa didn't get him,
Yeah, sure.
and he actually deserved it.
I agree with you though. A nice run for Natalia would be nice, but
And I think it is her time. She's just been on the ball.
Taco.
Yeah, I gotta agree with y'all. Fucking Natty, she needs it for her career, really.
Yeah, in my heart, I want Natalia to have a run. I just don't feel like now is the right
What
time.
the fuck is wrong with her winning clean over Becky Lynch?
I am a Becky Lynch apologist. I have been a huge fan since the beginning of her run on SmackDown Live. To me, Becky Lynch is the top babyface on SmackDown Live, and her losing clean in a throwaway TV match on SmackDown Live is just, it grinds
Against
my
one
gears.
of the best submission artists in the women's division.
Yeah, but it was like a 5-minute TV match. I just got done watching the G1. Damn it! I want to see an epic battle where fucking she looks so great in a loss that it's understandable. But no, it's a fucking throwaway 5-minute TV.
She'll get her due.
I know. I'm just saying. Well, you had to ask, and then I went and got
all riled up.
It was a very positive show, and I had to go and get all sour.
Be sour.
So. But anyway, Natalia versus Naomi. I think Naomi keeps it here. Naomi is on a nice run. The crowd's hot for her. She's got a hot entrance. She's got a sparkly belt that everybody likes that you can buy for $200, I guess you said, Joe.
Yeah, something like that.
But I think Naomi keeps it here. AJ versus Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. They did the.
I don't want to talk about it.
God, this is garbage.
We don't want. Nope. They're building up Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Nobody wants to see that. Apparently, I think this match should be good, but the
outcome.
I don't know. Yeah, no.
I'm smart enough to know that you accidentally hit me, but if you accidentally hit me again, you motherfucker. Oh, I promise not to hit you. Dude, I know what a piece of shit you are. Oh, he's accidentally hit me. Really? You got two of the best fucking artists, fucking wrestlers in the fucking business going at SummerSlam for the mid-card title, which feels like the main event title.
Yeah.
And I'm not even mad at Shane McMahon being in the middle of this shit.
It's
I promise not to hit you. Oh, I'm the ref that could take a hit. That's why I'm here.
The fact that an apology was a huge part of SmackDown. I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, so, yeah, it's a wrestling show, and to preview a segment as, coming up soon, AJ apologizes. It's like, what the
This can't be a backstage segment of like, hey, Shane, I'm sorry for that shit last week. It's cool. Can I have a match tonight? Yeah. Done.
Okay, here's what I did like about it, is that Shane explained like you kind of brought it up there, the idea that these two are having a rematch because a referee got hit at one point and was all fucked up and couldn't see and fucked up the finish. Kevin Owens' shoulder was way up in the air. So the idea that they finally explained is that Shane is a guy that can take a hit, and so something like that in a match won't affect him. Therefore, there's a reason for him to be there.
As he gets hit and is on the ground.
So
I'm going at least 3 times he gets knocked out.
So I liked that aspect of the story tonight, but now that I'm thinking about this match on Sunday, it's just I feel like Shane in the middle of it is going to just kind of make it a clunk fest.
I don't know why we had to keep putting Shane on these big cards, though.
Hey man, he is over.
He's fucking great. He is.
When he came out, he was more over than AJ Styles. He was more over than Kevin Owens. So I mean, what are you gonna do? We don't. Apparently, we're the only people that don't want to see Shane McMahon. So there's that. So there's something to that. I mean, the crowd was going nuts for the guy. So here comes the money. So, so predictions for Sunday. I'm saying AJ keeps the title. This is just a storyline to get Kevin Owens involved with Shane McMahon, and so the tension between them, however, will end up making it. AJ will get the win, clean or otherwise. Maybe Kevin Owens will have some sort of complaint because obvious the referee is going to get involved here. Shenanigans and whatnot abound. Any other thoughts? As far as that one goes, any other different predictions for that one? What do you guys think?
I feel that's honestly what I feel. I mean, we're setting up AJ and Kevin, and God damn it, I just don't want it.
Kevin and Shane.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Taco.
Yeah, I'm leaning on the AJ walking off the championship.
Any chance? So we're all saying AJ keeps the title, wins the match. Any chance though Kevin Owens gets the title back, and Kevin Owens and Shane turns into a U.S. title thing?
See,
that would make it so much worse.
I almost want to see it not in that sense, but since everyone has the Owens versus Shane thing on their head, give us a loop, fucking throw one for us, or confuse us, make Shane favor Kevin Owens or something, maybe to shut him up. I don't fucking know. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with these two guys either.
All right, finally on the SmackDown side of things, Randy Orton versus Rusev, a nice RKO out of nowhere on Rusev after a quick double count out with the match with Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix. He's beating us to it.
I can't even. I'm still struggling.
Gable.
Chad Gable, of course.
The Gable table.
Local boy, local guy. Does Gable get involved in this thing at all? I mean, it was a quick count out. Do they make this thing a 3-way, or does it stay Orton and Rusev?
I honestly want it to be a 3-way, like a last-minute 3-way, because, I liked that Rusev match last week with Gable. Fucking, it showed, that they could have their own fucking feud going forward, and, if you want to jump in the way back machine a little bit, Gable pinned Orton for the championship, so the tag team championship,
titles,
so we know he can go toe-to-toe with Randy Orton, too, so, fuck it, give us a surprise, get Gable on that card.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to save the Gable story for more stuff on SmackDown coming up. So I think it'll just be the 2-on-2 match. boy, Rusev really needs a win here. That's my prediction.
Yeah,
I think Rusev
absolutely
gets the win here. Although, I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into. We'll talk NXT predictions for Takeover on Saturday in a little bit, but got to get to the other big stuff here:
Let's
the
do
G1 Climax finals and the final 2 A and B block finals leading up to it. Let's get into New Japan.
Change the subject. King of Sport. New Japan Pro Wrestling.
So from Friday, the 11th, this was the A Block Finals. A fun, great card here. I love the opener. I didn't watch the entire undercard, but there was good stuff here. There was a chance for revenge for the Young Lions. Hirai Kawato, Tomoyuki Oka, and Katsuya Kitamura have been getting their asses beat by Minoru Suzuki throughout the entire G1 tournament. After wins, after losses, Suzuki just goes off and beats the shit out of the Young Lions. So the opening match for this card was those Young Lions versus Taichi, El Desperado, and Suzuki. So a fun little story there. Desperado gets the win over Kawato, of course. And during the match, Suzuki basically knocked out Kawato. This was right after the Suzuki and Okada draw from the previous night, and so Suzuki just like showcasing those heavy slaps and those heavy hits and all that stuff from there.
What the hell's wrong with you? That's open hand slap.
So doing some more of that with the Young Lions, just knocking him out was a lot of fun. Also, undercards for the A and B block finals, and for the A and B block finals were these fun 10-man tags between like the Young Bucks and Bullet Club guys and the Taguchi Japan guys and War Machine with Ricochet and Michael Elgin. So they did a couple of these 10-man tags, and they were just a ton of fun. Then for the A block finals, getting into the final matches here, it really came down to Naito and Tanahashi in the A block and Omega and Okada in the B block. So the other G1 Climax matches in these didn't really matter in the grand scheme of the G1 Climax, but it was on this night Bad Luck Fale versus Yuji Nagata in Yuji Nagata's final G1 Climax appearance. So probably one of his final singles matches, definitely a final singles match of big significance in his career, even though mathematically eliminated. But Bad Luck Fale with a chance to get to 12 points. That's a big spot in the tournament, but no chance to advance and win it. But to get to 12 points is a big deal in the G1 Climax.
They say the record was 15.
I don't remember, but yeah, it's maybe something like that. Or maybe nobody had even gotten to 14. I don't remember. But yeah, there was a stat out there in that. I need to go back and watch this with the Japanese commentary, because the announcer that did the commentary for this one was the guy who's the big Yuji Nagata fan. Like Yuji Nagata saved him from this heel peril at one point earlier in his career. And so this guy is always on the side of Yuji Nagata. Very fun, dramatic match. Bad Luck Fale does win with the Bad Luck Fall, but Nagata just puts on a clinic of switching submissions in the match. There's great exchanges. Nagata fights from underneath. And after, this was really cool. Fale shows some great respect to Nagata, bows to him. The crowd is holding up these signs for Yuji Nagata. The announcer is emotional. I can't hear what he's saying because I was watching the English commentary, but there are tears flowing from the man's face on commentary. So it was just great.
Rocky Romero even dipped to the back to go be with Nagata afterwards, too.
Yeah. That was a very nice touch. So yeah,
to be in that backstage with all those wrestlers when he finally walks off, his last G1. I mean, it's quite a moment.
He has history with them too, I guess. Like you said earlier to us that he's fluent in Japanese, I guess, Romero.
Yeah, that Romero was on commentary, so that if somebody said something Japanese in the ring or whatever, he could interpret it.
So he definitely has his history there too.
Yeah, he's been around New Japan for a long time. Romero has. So he definitely, him going to the back to hang out with Nagata for a little bit after that was definitely something that he would definitely want to do. So understandable there. Nothing other really too notable from the undercard there. Obviously, the matches are there. Kota Ibushi lost to Goto, which was a little bit strange there, but Goto did his Shibata tribute in the match. And we've obviously got some interesting Shibata news to get to here in a little bit, but the Naito versus Tanahashi, both guys with 12 points. Phenomenal match. 5 stars in my opinion. Tanahashi heals on Naito. There's some Go Ace chants in the crowd a little bit. The crowd was mixed, but mostly behind Naito here. Tanahashi works on the arm. Naito works on the damaged arm of Tanahashi. Tanahashi uses the cloverleaf that he beat Naito with to win the Intercontinental title at one point. Very narrow escape. Really good work with the cloverleaf in the match. Naito hits the Tornado Reverse DDT, which is kind of like the Destino for a near fall. Tanahashi with 3 twist and shout neck breakers, but it was Naito with 2 Destinos getting the win. 5 stars, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've heard, you guys were talking about this match, and I'm probably going to have to search this one up.
Yeah, the third meeting, I mean, all of the, it's kind of, we talked about the Dominion matchup, too, between Naito and Tanahashi. These matches almost get lost in the shuffle just because the Omega and Okada matches have been
even
so
Wrestle
phenomenal.
Kingdom.
Exactly. Wrestle Kingdom was great. Dominion was great. This was also great. At least this kind of got to stand out a little more on its own, but again, the G1 Climax so overwhelming as a whole. But this was really, I did not rate a ton of 5-star matches. I was probably on the low of people that, follow this and give things star ratings or whatever. Not that I'm any kind of expert by any means. I'm just a fan. I just rate things so that when I talk on the podcast about it, you can have an idea of how I feel about something. A star rating, very subjective, as people have been giving Dave Meltzer a hard time all year for his Kenny Omega and Okada star ratings. But anyway,
I like to call it the Tommy's New Japan system.
Yeah, we tried that gimmick last year. Anyway. But I haven't given a lot of 5-star matches in the G1 Climax because I knew that the really good stuff at the end was coming, and all 3 of these finals were 5 stars for me. So the B block finals, we had some good stuff on here too. Juice Robinson picked up another big win versus Michael Elgin with the pulp friction after 2 big punches to the face. I gave that one 3 1/4. I really liked.
Get balls deep in those Japanese
Okay,
women.
Yes, after the match, Juice Robinson is like the biggest white meat baby face I've ever seen. Just so pure, so like gold. But then after the match, he goes to the English commentary, grabs the mic, and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna get balls deep in some Japanese ladies tonight."
Well, the first one was like, it was like
it just ruined the baby face and the stuff. A little like, oh, you're so dirty.
I think it was
Robinson.
the night he beat Omega.
That is so profane.
He was kind of, there's a photo of him flirting with some girls on the outside, so I think he tweeted something along like, "Oh, I think I'm going to get in trouble and have some children in Japan, oh no." Like, it was something along those lines. So when I heard him say that shit the other day of being balls deep in Japanese women, I was like, oh, I love where this is going.
I honestly, with the U.S. expansion, Juice needs to chill out on the vulgarity a little bit, but I was very entertained by it. Tama Tonga beat Sonata with the gun stun. I know, Taco, you've been impressed with Tama Tonga throughout the tournament. Me, I've been disappointed in Sonata. I was looking for big things from Sonata, him having a good tournament, but it just wasn't, he didn't stand out to me. He didn't connect with the crowd. They tried changing his look up a little bit, but I think he's still kind of locked into the idea of being a heel, being straightforward, being, almost too tranquilo, honestly. His selling is decent, but he just doesn't, when he's supposed to fire up, he doesn't fire up. There's not a missed connection.
There's not a lot of motion.
Yeah,
that's the
missed
problem.
connection.
I feel like
bad emotion.
Everyone generally, thought that Sonata was going to stick out on this one. I thought, my secret underdog to stick out of this was going to be Elgin, and it was Evil. He took the spots.
It was, for me, Elgin was great. But the booking of Elgin kind of failed him. But at the same time, he had a lot of losses.
Yeah, he looked great.
But his big losses meant something. And even in his losses, he looked pretty good. Except for the Yano loss that eliminated him from the tournament because that was such a bullshit loss. Elgin has looked good in the tournament, and I don't think he hasn't lost anything from not having a lot of points.
I just thought he was going to be the surprise underdog in the big G1 to bring him to that next level.
You're definitely right, though. I agree with you that Evil has stood out to me as like
really
most improved, or just really standing out, having great matches. Of course, a win against Okada is going to help with that, and Okada being one of the greatest in the world, definitely going to help with that. But even in the other matches that he's had, he has looked great and had good matches. I could still do without the plastic Halloween sickle and the silly little lasers on his figure. Got to work. I mean, I guess some people like his entrance, and that's fine. But for me, it's not main event. And he's got to, he could have a really cool entrance if he worked on like a routine, do it the same every time. Maybe instead of having little lasers on your fingers, have like lasers that come out of the stage or something. Do something cool. But you got to get rid of the Halloween shit. That's just silly. But yeah, Evil stood out.
The robe is just enough.
I love the robe. The robe is great. Get a real sickle,
Yeah.
Hard to carry around.
That's a big one.
Hard to carry around with you on tour in Japan. I understand that, but still, that would be a cool thing. Yano beat Minoru Suzuki in a bit of a big upset there after taping Suzuki's arms to his torso. Another just silly comedy match. Evil did beat Kojima, who only had the one win in the tournament. But then Okada versus Omega. Joe, you got to see this one. We watched this one today. Again, 5 stars, of course. The third matchup between these two. What a story that they have told all year. And this match itself tells a nice story. So Okada loses to Evil, has the 30-minute draw with Minoru Suzuki, and then in that match he gets his neck all fucked up. So this match he comes out, his neck is all taped up. It's like Don Callis points it out. It's like a bullseye on the back of his neck. So of course that's the focus for Omega. Omega goes for a really fast start. Both guys go for early finishing attempts. Okada counters a springboard attempt by drop kicking him off of the thing onto the floor. Then there's like a reverse Rana on the floor that Omega hits. That was insane. They go for the pile driver on the table outside the ring. At 15 minutes in, the announcers start talking about the ref should stop the match. Geto should throw in the towel, and then Kenny Omega starts throwing V triggers. 20 minutes in, Okada hits the first Rainmaker, but he can't cover him. He can't make the cover. He crawls over to him. He can only cover him with his arm, so gets a 2 count. So now Omega's kicking out of Rainmakers. 2 more short arms after an intense exchange, a super intense exchange after Okada counters a one-winged angel. They do that top rope insanity stuff. I'm thinking of the finals. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. But yeah, Omega gets the win with the one-winged angel finally. Great match, told a great story. What are your thoughts?
Just tons of fun, and I just think while a lot of people are very high up on Okada and Omega, I think this is truly one of those few once-in-a-lifetime things. We're not going to get matches of this quality and caliber with 2 wrestlers like this, I think, on a regular basis. I mean, it's just been amazing, the excitement, even from New Japan fans. They're hearing about Omega and Okada. They're like, I have to go see this match because everyone is talking about it.
I haven't talked about this in a long time, but I mean, it's less than $10, people, to watch this stuff. It is great. It is worth it, and they are having such a great year. Meltzer said that this is the greatest G1 climax of all time that just happened. He referred to the Okada Omega feud as better than Flair Steamboat. I mean, this is historic stuff here. This is really, really good.
I wouldn't quite say that, but it is damn close.
Hey, it's Dave Meltzer. He was there. He saw it. He lived it. He wrote about it. So I haven't seen a ton of Flair Steamboat. I've seen some of the stuff here and there, of course.
It's just it's the evolution of sports. Like I was kind of talking to you in the car on the way over here. Just whether it's football, baseball, mixed martial arts, wrestling nowadays. They just get better and better and better. You mimic what you love, and these guys are showing in the ring. Whether it's Ricochet all the way to Samoa Joe to Balor, you know, like these guys are just mimicking, you know, what they grew up on, and it's just, how can I do better than that? How can I top that? How can I move this to the next level then? And, you know, that's what furthers, you know, a sport in general. It's fucking great to see.
Well, and the camaraderie, and the biggest thing with a lot of wrestlers is trust. And the guys in New Japan, you can tell they trust each other with some of the moves they do.
Yeah.
We'll get into that right now.
Well, yeah.
Another thing that's I'm really liking about it is, you know, it's just the Japanese culture. They're patient people. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a known fact that they're so patient, and you can see it in these, you know, these matches that we're seeing, because, you know, Naito is a perfect example of it. You know, look at him. You know, IWGP champion, co-main event, not the main event. That was what, 3-4 years ago.
Right.
And we're just now finally coming to the conclusion of the just giant painted story.
Right.
Motherfucker left Mexico for what, a year, and, you know, came back and just telling everyone, "Fuck you," blah blah blah. You know,
all single Bernales.
And now he's here, like, thank you, fans. You know, thank you. You know, blah blah blah. I'm a good guy now, and, you know, it's the patience that, you know, this Japanese culture have is so amazing. You can just tell it through the story that they're telling, and look how fucking long Bray and Randy Orton went along for, and it's like, oh my god, end already.
Right.
Look how long Omega and Okada is going on for, and it's like, you got any more of those fucking matches going on? Like, come on, man. Hook me up.
Yeah, one more? Come on, man.
Well, I mean, they tell long-term stories. They don't have a 3-hour TV to beat us over the head with every week, so that helps. They don't even have a 2-hour TV show every week.
Well, even with this G1, though, it's just like, it's fucking rough watching 3-4 hours, having 2-3 days and a day off.
That is true. The G1 Climax definitely makes up for Raw and SmackDown, I think, over the year.
Because if you're watching New Japan, you know, 90% chance you're watching WWE, and you're probably watching Ring of Honor too. It's not just us in this room that are doing this. It's, you know, a lot of people are doing this shit.
And
too.
I'm kind of proud of myself, because last year I fell way off on keeping up with the G1. I want to give you a round of applause, Taco, for keeping up with the G1. I mean, this is you just signed up for New Japan this year.
Wrestle Kingdom.
This is new to you, and for keeping track and going along with the entire first G1. I mean, that deserves a round of applause.
Thank you.
This is like the third I've kept up or have followed. The first year I was so confused, and I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what a round robin tournament was. Last year I tried following along. I missed most of it, had to fast forward through stuff. But again, last year, even like in the middle of the tournament, they would do like the gymnasium matches with one camera and no commentary. This year, every show felt like a big show. They had the whole show on there. There was commentary, usually just Japanese commentary in those middle shows, but still, every show felt huge.
Some of those middle shows had no commentary. I remember that.
Right, yeah. Like,
you know,
it was
I
like
would come over and watch them, and, you know, like, seeing you do the brackets and stuff, it's like, yeah, I know round robin, but, you know, what the fuck are these squares, and, you know, like, what the fucking trying to, like, remember shit. It's like, I'm loving it, but I can't play, you know, so it's like I got to play this year, and it's just all like, it's just so fucking good, and, you know, just being able to compare it to, you know, a full G1 to this year and a full G1 to last year, it's just like their production, like you just pointed out,
the production
awesome.
Really helped out.
The match quality has been awesome.
Off the charts,
I mean, it's just like, holy fuck, man. You know, like, you know, it's fucking Saturday. I went out, fucking got so fucking drunk. Fucking, I come home at like 3:30. You know, how you doing? I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, why is there New Japan like going on right now? Like, I thought this was going on next week or like on Monday, you know.
I gotta apologize.
And fuck, I had no idea the finale was going on, and
nice.
Fucking wake up the next day, kind of remembering some shit. It's like, oh fuck, that was real. Let me finish this main event.
Yeah. All right, we got to talk the final night of the G1. Let's start with the final match. I do want to talk about some stuff from the undercard, but let's not bury the lead. Naito versus Omega in the finals. 5 stars plus, in my opinion. I'm not going any higher than 5, but it was a phenomenal, great match. Omega defeated Naito in last year's G1, so Naito looking for the win back here, looking to win his second G1 Climax. You alluded to the story of Naito, that when last time he won the the G1 Climax. The fans voted the Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura IC match into the main event, and that led to Naito being bitter, creating Los Ingobernables de Japón, and that whole story going forward. Now Naito is over like Rover, third biggest babyface in the company, whatever you want to call it. He's awesome, and so that leading to this culmination. Kenny Omega, second G1 finals in a row. Again, a Westerner possibly winning the G1 Climax 2 years in a row is a huge story. So insane. This match, just, oh my God. It took Naito 3-some-odd Destinos to win the thing. The V-triggers that Kenny Omega was hitting in this match.
This is like my favorite thing about Kenny Omega right now is those fucking knees just in general. Like, he uses them like punches. And John Jones, that dude, the UFC fighter, is fucking like so lanky and like just lanky as fuck.
Yeah.
That he has to use his elbows as fists, essentially, just to be in the right reach. So seeing Kenny Omega do that kind of stuff just with his knees, it's like awesome.
They do the pile driver on the table outside. This is, of course, Kenny Omega's working on the neck, softening him up for the one-winged angel. Same thing. Naito wants to do the same thing to Omega to soften him up for the Destino. Kenny works a really long heat on Naito, but it's great. Naito starts a comeback by countering the first V-trigger attempt. I wrote down, oh my God. Naito goes for a superplex. Omega looks like he tries to counter, looks like he slips off the top rope, and that thus driving Naito's head into the top of the post. So what they did is they do a really scary spot, and then they look like they botch it. So it looks like, oh fuck, whatever they're doing on the top rope is really scary and dangerous, and oh my God, Naito's head just got driven into the post.
And they shot right to the crowd reactions too.
Right, and then they go back up top. Omega fucking positions him, looks like he's going to hit a top standing on the tippy top rope. Looks like he's going to hit a power bomb. Thank God Naito counters it into the Hurricane Rana. But it's just like the way that they did that spot where they set it up, the setup beforehand, where it's like, oh my God, what this shit on he can slip at any moment and awful things can happen, and then they go right back and do that amazing spot. It was just so insane.
Flawless.
Just perfect.
Naito wins with all the Destinos in the world, and it was a fantastic match. I can't say enough about it.
Yeah, well deserved win.
Second time watching it today. Again, yeah, a great story with Naito. Taco, you predicted it with Naito getting the win.
Oh yeah, we're getting to it.
We did do bracket predictions on our show between us three hosts, and the way it works is if you match obviously if you predict a match correctly, that's 1 point. If the point total at the end of the tournament matches, that was 3 points. If you pick the right winner of each block, you would get 5 points for each winner. And if you predict the tournament winner correctly of the whole thing, that was worth 10 points. So I ended up with a grand total of 61 points. I was 50 for 90 in the entire tournament as far as those predictions go. But 61 points for me. Taco, what'd you end up with?
70.
Nice. Taco, of course,
I'm pulling in the rear with a solid 60.
Hey, we're right behind me, though.
Right? 52 wins.
52 wins. Nice.
I did
not including the finals.
Right, and the bonus points and everything else. But yeah, you had Naito going all the way, so that helped you out there. So yeah, that's good stuff there.
Yes.
So I guess.
So it looks like I got the beer next week.
You'll be buying the beer next week. I do want to talk about some more of the undercard from the G1 because we've got some developing stories here. Kushida and El Desperado have been brawling after a multi-man tag, so El Desperado will challenge Kushida at some point for the IWGP Junior title.
I like
that. Let's see what else here. The IWGP Junior Tag Team titles were on the line. Taguchi and Ricochet of Taguchi Japan challenging the Young Bucks for the titles. And I thought it was a great match. 4 stars in my opinion. Ricochet ends up getting the win over one of the Bucks with his shooting star press. It was a really great match. The Bucks work Ricochet's right leg after a big dive. So Ricochet does this big dive and starts selling his right leg. They work on Taguchi's back after slamming him into the apron edge. What was that?
Nothing.
I'm just gonna. I don't.
What I said was, stop talking.
But anyway,
I heard you.
It was a bit. I thought it was an upset, a good match with Taguchi and Ricochet getting the win there. And then in another 4-star match, War Machine defended the tag team titles, the IWGP Heavyweight titles, against Cody and Hangman Page. Again, I just thought it was a good match. So, but the champions retain there. But then the story after was the Guerrillas of Destiny come out. They say they want a rematch for the titles, but then it was the return of the Killer Elite Squad. Lance Archer has been out with an injury, so he's back, teaming with Davey Boy Smith Jr., of course.
Looking like his daddy.
Yep, and Killer Elite Squad, part of Suzuki Gun. They come out and attack both of the teams, so we could potentially be building up to a 3-way match at some point for those titles again. So, very good stuff. Zack Sabre Jr. submits Tanahashi again, and there's some Suzuki and Elgin drama after a 6-man tag, and Los Ingobernables beat Chaos. Evil and Okada are going at each other during the match. Evil hits Darkness Falls onto chairs after the match, and Okada continuing to be a great
Should we talk about the big return?
Yes,
He's alive.
of course.
Daryl! He's alive!
So they looked like they were going into intermission on this show, and I was getting ready to skip ahead because intermission's usually 15, 20 minutes long or whatever. But then right as I was getting ready, I actually did skip ahead, but right before the video skipped ahead, this other video thing popped up. I was like, I should go back and watch that. So I went back to watch the video, and it was just like a teaser video. It was just a thing that said, Wrestle Kingdom 11 in the Tokyo Dome, January 4th. Like, I guess that's not a big deal. So now I'm getting ready to skip ahead again. All of a sudden, Shibata's music hits, and I'm like, oh, fuck. So here comes Shibata. He marches out to the ring. He's all smiles. He looks a little skinnier than usual, but yeah, it's understandable. The guy's been in the hospital forever.
He looked good.
But yeah, looked good,
Walking.
Looked healthy, gets in the ring, hits the ropes, fucking takes a bump real quick.
Motherfucker.
As a guy who used to do it a little bit, and him being in his position, I can see it in his head. Like I have to do it. I got to hit the ropes. I got to fall down just to see how I feel afterwards. So I can understand people being like, "Whoa, what the fuck is he doing?"
It was nuts, man.
But yeah, he does that. Grabs a mic and says, "I'm alive." That is all.
Mic drop.
But yeah, he does the thing where he's sitting cross-legged on the ground.
That's kind of where I was kind of groggy in and out on the couch.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Is this happening right now?
Okay. Pass out, wake up. That was real.
So I want to talk the upcoming New Japan schedule. Nothing has been announced yet, but coming out of the G1 Climax, we've got a lot of potential matchups here, and so I've got some notes on that. So coming in September, we have 3 Destruction shows. We have the Fukushima show on Sunday the 10th. A week later on Saturday is the Destruction in Hiroshima show. Then a week later on Sunday, the 24th, is Destruction in Kobe. So we got the Kushida El Desperado the Kushida El Desperado thing possibly in there. And then potential never openweight championship matchups. Suzuki could face Elgin, with Elgin having a win, or Evil. Evil also had a win over Suzuki, but it sounds like more like the Elgin thing.
See, and I would love to see Suzuki Evil, just because, again, you've got the 2 bullshitting teams just fucking fighting each other.
And that, again, came into play during that match in the G1. Potential U.S. title matches. Kenny Omega could face, again, Michael Elgin defeated him in the tournament, and they've had a nice backstory leading into this. Also, Juice Robinson.
Say that's who I'm leaning towards, is Juice.
That would be a fun one. Potential intercontinental title matches. Yes, Naito beat Tanahashi in the finals, or the block finals, but that's a match that's played out quite a bit. I like Kota Ibushi possibly challenging Tanahashi with the win in the G1. Also, Zack Sabre Jr. had a win over Tanahashi in the G1, so a couple of potentials there. And then, of course, the potential IWGP Championship matches. Does Okada Omega 4 happen? Probably not at these Destruction shows, but at some point we've got the King of Pro Wrestling on October 9th, and we've got Power Struggle on November 5th. So Okada Omega 4 possibly in here.
I feel like that'd be a good way to end the year.
Before the end of the year. And again, with Evil having the defeat over Okada in the tournament, I'm looking for the Evil Okada match at some point on these Destruction shows.
Well, even like Evil Suzuki too. Even with that draw, that could be just a way to continue on a match for a month there.
Right? Yeah. All of these matchups that I'm talking about could not only possibly happen here at these Destruction shows, but those other two big shows building up towards the end of the year. We got a lot of time and a lot of potential matchups here. Potential briefcase matchups for Tetsuya Naito with the contract for the main event at the Tokyo Dome. He lost to Tomohiro Ishii. Ishii could challenge Naito. That would be a great match. Also, Bad Luck Fale with a couple of nice upsets in the tournament, one over Naito. So I imagine both of those will probably be matches.
Naito is actually calling for Ishii to challenge him for his contract.
Yeah, I liked you read that Naito's press conference promo to us, and he was just talking shit about, I don't really care about Okada or who's in the main event. I just want to be in the main event at the Tokyo Dome. And yeah, kind of calling
Okada,
out,
you are no interest to me. Tokyo Dome is where it's at, and then he's pretty much because Naito he wants you to be vocal if you're going to call him out. So
sure.
And Ishii's the only one to have done that so far. So he's bring it, motherfucker, and it's good shit.
And then, obviously, we talked about the IWGP Junior tags will probably have a rematch at some point. The Young Bucks probably get the rematch against Taguchi and Ricochet. And we talked about the Killer Elite Squad possibly matching up with War Machine and the Guerrillas of Destiny. Looks like a possible three-way in there, but definitely possibilities of regular straight-up tag matches as well with all the time that we have left in the year. So that's New Japan, and I kind of want to, do we want to preview the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, or should we do predictions for NXT TakeOver? We're running kind of long.
Let's do NXT.
NXT? All right, let's get into NXT.
Change the subject.
Wait.
NXT.
I lost my cheat sheet.
Ooh, you fucked up.
It fell under the Lucha Underground stuff, which we probably...
Vintage Tommy right there with the paperwork.
Probably won't get to Lucha Underground again this week, but
they've been doing really good.
The last couple of shows have been decent. But let's talk NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. 3 predictions. Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT title. I think Roode retains here. I like McIntyre having it. It just doesn't feel right for a change yet. What do you think there, Taco?
Predictions.
No, I'm with you. I think Roode's gonna retain. What the fuck's his name right now?
Drew McIntyre.
God, no, the
Aleister
other
Black.
white guy, the white one. Yeah, there you go. Roderick Strong. I feel like he should be the guy to take that championship off Bobby Roode. I feel like that's just gonna those packages and Austin Aries package, but those packages they had for him a couple months ago now. At this point, they really brought him out in that WWE crowd. I think a championship on him in NXT is gonna bring him out even more to the WWE world.
Well, and last week on NXT TV, if you remember, they set up the angle where if Strong wins the match. Was it
McIntyre
this coming week, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be this week, yeah. So by the time this podcast drops, most of you will probably have the chance to see it. But yeah, he's going to face McIntyre this week. And if he can win there, he gets the match against Bobby Roode after TakeOver, whether Bobby Roode has the title
championship
or not. So they and certainly Strong could lose to McIntyre, which is a possibility. But yeah, I like what you're saying there. What do you think, Joe?
I'm thinking the same thing, especially because Bobby Roode has just been on the game when it comes to the promos and taking on these baby faces with the crying, everything, playing out the emotions. And I think there's just too much talent at the top right now that you need a guy to kind of solidify it and to chase after. You need that guy who's on top to chase after. So you've got Roderick Strong. Aleister Black is tearing through people right now. Tommy's technically trying to work his way back up. There's plenty of challengers for that title.
That's the thing is I think if Bobby Roode isn't champion, it's kind of like, what do you do with Bobby Roode? Because he's not not lighting it up in the ring or anything. It's
no,
like
I feel like he's gonna, he's one of those guys that can't be in NXT too long. He is going to have to come to the main roster, and Rumble's around the corner.
Possibly.
It's just, you know,
That
unless,
would be glorious.
unless you know, take the championship off of him, let him feud for the next month or two. He does the disappearance act for a good month or two. Boom, Rumble's there, and you got, you know, SmackDown has a new heel.
Can you imagine if that piano hit at the Rumble, though?
It would be hot. It would be hot. But I don't know. I kind of like just keeping Bobby Roode at NXT because I don't know. It's interesting.
It's just that's what I'm saying. Is just you got like you guys have said. Is just there's so many fucking much talent out there right now, and you know, some quick news spoilers. Do we want to bring up the rumored signee?
The new sign. Well,
I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it's official.
It's been reported on, but it hasn't. WWE hasn't said anything, and they haven't.
Fuck that.
And they haven't taped anything yet.
No,
So,
he's supposed to.
So there's no spoilers here.
Okay,
Go ahead.
The word is Adam Cole is reporting to developmental territory this week.
Sure.
So,
and I think what they normally, I think what they'll do, what they normally do. Adam Cole sitting front row.
I hope they don't do that this time. I hope he just fucking does, the Red Dragon, just surprise, motherfuckers! Like I'm here. Like
I think there's been too much talk about him, honestly, that they've got to do the Bobby Roode thing, the Drew McIntyre thing, him sitting in the crowd.
Yeah, but just that's surprising how many fucking people are like, oh my god, fucking network, watch. Like that's where it's at.
Yeah,
I know, but
that would be interesting and a different approach. So, Asuka versus Ember Moon. I've talked about how I've liked the story that they've told. Now, I've heard other people say, and I kind of agree with this too, that Ember Moon's not the best on the mic. I like her in the ring, but I fucking like Asuka better, obviously. I think, and Asuka's just fucking, she's killing it. She's amazing. So is it right for Ember Moon to beat Asuka? Is Asuka main roster bound? What do you guys think?
it's so tough. I really want her to win and just walk away from NXT to Raw or SmackDown
with the title.
Being
a la
like
Paige,
or even just honestly taking not out of Paige's book. Drop the title right there and be like, I'm done with this. No one here is to challenge me, and walk away from the title.
She didn't do that though. She got stripped.
Great analysis.
No, like when she won the Divas Championship, though, Regal said you can't be champ, and then he stripped her of the NXT Women's Championship.
Yes.
So,
but what do you think of this?
I like what Joe is saying. That's what I agree with. It's just like she needs to be so dominant that Raw needs someone like that too, big time. She needs to be so fucking dominant that it's just. Who the fuck's left for me?
She needs to be karma scary when she comes in.
We got a lot of these, chicks. I almost said broads again.
Chicks,
That's so much better. We got a lot of these.
Is it though?
We got a lot of these beautiful ladies fighting in the Mae Young Classic, so it's just
I'm hyped for that.
Fuck yeah, man! It's adding more depth to the women's roster, which is fucking great. But we need more in there. And God, like the one thing we didn't talk about SmackDown, which I'm Tamina, but
no,
I'm only bringing it up because God, what's her fucking name now? Lana said what we've been saying is no one's fucking scared of you. They walk right past you. What the fuck are you to everyone? Like you're a fucking bitch. You're not scary. Listen to me. And so I like that she said that. But that's why we need some of these women in the Mae Young Classic coming to WWE. It's not necessarily for NXT, but we just need more.
It's funny if I was a main roster woman. I would be so upset at the idea of the Mae Young Classic because it'd be like, why can't I fucking have a special for? Why can't I be in the Mae Young Classic?
See, that's
if I was Tamina or Natalya, like I want to be presented in a serious form and have awesome matches and let to go out there and put on an awesome show instead of being out here sports entertaining everybody.
Yeah, but you can get that angle of basically. I didn't have that. I didn't have the Mae Young Classic when I was growing up. I had to work my ass off to get where I am kind of angle, from some of the veteran women. So
See, I would have been a good place for like Becky Lynch though right now. It's just, like, because she's that warrior, she's that, fighter that, if she's has
neat.
to, quote, demote herself to, back down to NXT to go do this tournament and then come back, like, it would suit someone like her, because she just wants to fight. She wants to show that she's the best. She's like Kevin Owens in the sense of, like, I'm a prize fighter, I want to win and be the best in this business. And, that would have been perfect for someone like her. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But, it's more about, bringing the youth in and getting more talent in. And, they need that with these women.
Asuka, Ember Moon.
Asuka.
Yeah, Asuka.
I disagree. Well, here's the thing. If Asuka is moving up, I think she should put Ember Moon over, have a strong champion back at NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would look good. And I don't think Asuka loses that much losing to Ember Moon, especially she still looks like a badass. She can still go to Monday Night Raw or SmackDown and come across as a badass.
I'm not even necessarily saying put Asuka on the main roster now yet either.
I
want her keeping this fucking championship streak going. I mean, I think she's on 400 days maybe right now.
Right, and actually that would be a good story too, if she's staying at NXT. There was the shenanigans at the WrestleMania takeover or whatever, where she pulled the ref into the way that knocked Ember Moon off the top, leading to Asuka getting the win. So you could certainly have Asuka get a 100% clean win this time, and that would definitely solidify her as the top act. Who's next? Ruby Riott, Mae Young Classic winner, things like that. And then you can rebuild Ember Moon and tell a different story with her too. So that. Sanity versus Authors of Pain for the tag team titles. Do Sanity get the titles finally off of the Authors of Pain? Joe, predictions.
I want Authors of Pain to destroy them.
Taco?
I really think they're going to walk out with the title still.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the Authors of Pain on this one too. I just like what they've been doing.
They walk with the titles, but they don't walk out.
I think I want to see. I need the Authors of Pain to be tested. They've been built up now really, really well through the Revival feud, the the Gargano and Ciampa DIY feud. Now let's take the titles off of them and see how they do. Sanity is a really good group. Killian Dane has been killing it, looking good. Alexander Wolf has kind of found a spot in Sanity. Put the titles on them.
You got the return of Young too.
Eric Young is back, so now you can introduce Shenanigans into the mix here.
Who's that?
That's Sheamus's brother.
Oh yeah.
So that's all a factor. I say let's put the title. I'm predicting a Sanity win here, and let's see what the Authors of Pain do without the big push and without the titles. Can they maintain that popularity, or do they lose something? Aleister Black versus Hideo Itami. I've loved how they've built up Aleister Black, the two great matches with the Red Dragon guys, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, and all the other wins that he's had. But boy, Hideo Itami has had a nice heel turn story as well. A little bit stop and start with the Cassius Ohno stuff in the middle there, but they had a long time to build up that story going into SummerSlam. I'm kind of torn on this. I love the Aleister Black push, want to see him get a win, but I kind of want to see Hideo get an upset here too. What do you think, Taco?
I hate to say I'm kind of over Hideo right now. Like,
I think a lot of people are.
It's just these injuries really fucked him up, and this is the best we've seen out of him is what's going on right now. And fucking don't take anything away from Black right now. He's like one of the hottest acts on NXT. He's already way past what Hideo's done in NXT in his entire time, and we've only seen consistent, great fucking matches. Not that we haven't from Hideo, but fucking just since day one in NXT, right off the bat against Andrade was just, damn, this motherfucker. What he's going to war. He's willing to fight and tear people up, and then all these other squash matches he's got. So yeah, he's got to walk out winning.
Joe,
I'm actually kind of with you, and I like the Hideo turn, and I think he is going to get the upset in the sense that we were just talking about Asuka and the streak. I think with her story and how big her story is, we don't need another streak. We don't need him, and we need to see that he's infallible. But again, being the heel, I think there might be not even shenanigans, but just a small, an eye poke, a nut shot here without the ref seeing. But I think Hideo walks out with the win.
I think Alistair's going to get the win here. They've really been building him up. He's over with the crowd. He looks really great in the ring.
I just wanted to be different.
I think
you are, Joe.
I think he gets the win. I think
You're not like most girls.
I think he's moving into the championship picture sooner than later.
Yeah.
So I think he gets
which
the win.
I want to see.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano versus Andrade Cien Almas.
It's gonna be an awesome match.
Show stealer. I'm telling you right now, that is my pick for show stealer of the night.
I think Almas gets the win here. I like his new push. The woman coming out with him now. I forget the name. I don't have it here in front of me. I like that bit added to the act, and so I like that. And Gargano can have a great competitive match. Gargano can lose here, probably shenanigans involved again, but not necessarily. But they could have a good competitive match where Gargano doesn't necessarily lose anything. What do you think, Taco? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I'm pulling for Andrade on this one. He needs a really big win, and I like you said, where he's going with everything right now, and I don't just everyone's behind Gargano, so it's win-win for him.
Yeah,
Joe?
and until I was going to say Ciampa.
Ciampa.
until Ciampa comes back, I mean, there's not a lot to do with him, and he's a hell of a worker, and Andrade's on this run. He needs this edge, and I think a win over Gargano is going to start it off, and like I said, I think it's going to be the show stealer of the night.
Right on.
Match of the week. Calling it for next week.
There you go. He's calling it ahead of time.
Match of the week.
All right, well, that's TakeOver. Also on Saturday, Ring of Honor does have an pay-per-view. Going to kind of preview it quickly if I can find it here, and I don't think I can.
Did you check in your butt?
So, what did I do with it? What did I do with it? Where did it go?
Missing paper down. We need papes.
go?
You got some papes?
Yeah, I got some papes, man. I got the papes for you.
I forgot I put it on the back of
You
the
paid,
Ninja
bro?
Band stuff. Cody's going to defend the title against Sonata. I think Ring of Honor expected Sonata to have a big G1 as well, but that was not the case. Tag titles are going to be defended: Young Bucks versus The Addiction, the newly heel Kazarian and Christopher Daniels against the big baby faces, the Young Bucks. Curious to see how Ring of Honor looks over in England. This is in Liverpool. This is their War of the Worlds UK tour. So I'm curious to see how the production looks, how the audience reacts in the UK to all of that. A bunch of other matches on the show, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 9-match show. So a big show for Ring of Honor on Saturday. September 22nd, they got a pay-per-view. So a regular pay-per-view, Death Before Dishonor. And then in October, they got the Global Wars house shows going on throughout the United States, with the last one in Chicago. I got tickets. I'm going to Chicago in October to see Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. It's going to be awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Ring of Honor, like I said, we're not going to go over TV this week. I'm telling you, Lucha Underground's been good. The Cueto Cup's been interesting. Things are getting kind of weird. They're bringing in the gods now.
Good. I love this weird shit. It needs to stay weird.
I'm going to table
what separates it.
I'm going to table Lucha Underground for this week because we are $1.45 into this thing.
Put it on the Gable table.
So I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to record a special Lucha Underground thing where I go over our results and our own brackets or whatever, or maybe we'll just keep track on our own, and when the thing ends,
I'm already out, so I don't give a fuck about the bracket.
right. Yeah.
I'm
in the lead.
I lost.
We again are keeping track of the tournament brackets amongst ourselves to determine who will buy the beers once that one is over. Although the G1 was a lot more interesting than that,
and I won that.
exactly. So, what am I saying here? Go to bestprowrestlingpodcast.com for all the back episodes and everything. Go to Twitter at BPW Podcast. Go to Facebook, share this show, tell people about it, get everybody involved because it's a great show. It's the best. Hashtag the best. Facebook.com/bestprowrestlingpodcast. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Join the conversation. I'm not tweeting crazy great stuff, but just let's talk, let's chat, let's get involved in the show. You can be like our friend 3 Pac, who wants us to do PG show so we
Fuck
can
that.
listen to us in the car with his kids. I'm sorry, it's not going to work. It's just Taco's too vulgar.
Tits.
Taco, where can people find you?
You can follow me on the Snapchat, Twitter, at HGREB Taco. Before you speak, Joe, I want to throw out that the G1 Climax is going to be on Access TV, I think, Friday. So, Sling, fucking cheapest option for it.
Yeah, Access will be having the G1 Climax. I don't know.
You got blocked,
Way to
bitch!
steal the thunder, motherfucker.
Sorry, I didn't want to lose it. Now speak.
Cock. You can follow me at Joe BPWP. That's at Joe Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
That's going to do it for the show this week. Make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes.
5 stars.
Bye!
Peace.
Woo!
Woo!
That's not what this show's about.
No disqualifications. Anything goes. Yeah, man.
Ric Flair's the champ.
Nia Jax is the greatest female competitor to ever step in the ring.
She's not like most girls.